Hi guys, it's Elysia English and I'm coming at you with another DIY. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Christmas countdown board. First step to creating a Christmas countdown board is to start with your background. My background is 15 inches wide by 30 inches tall. Step 2 is to create the ledges you're going to use for your countdown board, and I'm using 1x2s. These are the same pieces of wood that I use when framing my wood signs on my how to frame wood signs video. I'm going to make 5 pieces at 15 inches. Now I'm going to use my miter saw to cut where I've marked my lines. Step 3 is to make sure that all of your wood is sanded smoothly. Step number 4 is to stain your background and the ledges that you've created. You can paint as well, but I'm going to use a classic gray Minwax stain. I always apply my stain while going with the grain. With the 1x2s, it's a little bit trickier, but on a larger board, I always go along the grain. Step number 6 is to get your lettering ready to put on your countdown board. I used my Silhouette Cameo for this, so I'm going to weed out all my lettering. And if you do not have a Cameo, you can use some pre-made stencils from your local craft store or hand paint the lettering on. Step number 7 is applying the paint to your lettering. I'm going to use 3 different Christmas colors. I'm using a very soft gray, sort of a non-traditional Christmas green, and red. Step number 8 is to draw some lines where you're going to have your ledges. This is going to help you to apply your numbers. So I'm going to start by placing a 1x2 on the bottom, and I'm just going to draw a line. We'll be able to erase these later. Now I'm going to measure 3 inches up and mark a small line on both sides because you want your ledges to be level. And then I'm going to be able to have another ledge here. And then I'm going to measure 3 inches up again. I'm going to add just a small line to the top of all of them, and this will help me know exactly where my numbers need to be. I'm going to set my ledges aside now. And I'm going to get ready to put my numbers on. Step number 9 is applying your numbers. I'm going to use the top lines that I've created on both sides as a level guide to mark my numbers all the way across. And I'm going to do that on each of the ledge sections that I've created. So my first row is going to be 1 through 5 and continue on. Little tip is just to tape your ruler to the level line that you've created. And then I always start with my center number. So if I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to start with my 3. That way all of my numbers are going to be evenly divided across the width of my board. Now that my numbers are all done, step number 10 is to glue your wood ledges onto your board. I'm going to use my Gorilla Glue, and I'm going to apply it generously along the edge of my board. Following the markers that you already created, you're going to lay down your ledges and just make sure that they're lined up nicely underneath the numbers that you've painted. Step number 11 is creating the marker that you're going to use to count down. I previously created this little snowman character and this Christmas tree for 2 I made earlier today, and I'm going to make another Christmas tree. So I've just used the one I already made as a stencil, and drawn it out onto a scrap piece of wood, and I'm going to use my scroll saw. If you don't have a scroll saw, you could purchase some little markers at a dollar store or craft store. These work just as well, but I like to have that extra personal touch to my items, so I'm going to make mine with my scroll saw. Now that I've cut out my Christmas tree shape, I'm going to use some of the paint colors I used from my background and kind of coordinate my tree a little bit to my countdown board. I'm really happy with how my countdown for Christmas sign turned out. Our boys are always asking come December 1st, how many more days until Santa? This will be a great addition to our main floor. There's lots of possibilities for what you can do when creating these boards and your own markers. Use your own personal touch and make it your own. I hope you really like the videos I've been creating. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified when I have new videos, and paint that like button blue. Dude, I like brain tree. Goodness knows I don't use these to wash dishes.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
3.